a beautiful day for a home run, but even a triple okay.
Number 19 at second base, coming Helms.
Dodger Baseball is on the air, brought to you by your Union 76 dealers. Drive in where you see the big orange ball. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil. Buy Slits. Grab for all the gusto you can. When you're out of Slits, you're out of beer. By Farmer John, the famous farmer who provides your family with Farmer John bacon, ham, sausage, wieners, luncheon meats, and fresh pork. Remember the name Farmer John. And by the people at Pacific Telephone, who remind you when it comes to communications, we're here to help. Well, hi, everyone. This is Jerry Doggett along with Vin Scully. Here we are at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati for the game between the Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. This broadcast is presented with the permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated is prohibited. Well, it's a beautiful evening here in Cincinnati. Quite a contrast to the night we had last night in Pittsburgh when we had pouring rain for an hour before the ball game and a delay of an hour, and then the long game, and the Dodgers arrived in Cincinnati sometime around 3 o'clock this morning. So it was a long night. They spent most of the time recuperating and now get set for the first game of the three-game series here in Cincinnati. Pitchers tonight, left-hander Don Gullit, the young whiz for the Reds, who has a 9-3 mark. Don Sutton for the Dodgers, 9-8. The lineups and other pregame notes for you right after this message.
What happens when you put the Spirit of 76 into an anti-pollution gasoline? You get low-lead regular 76, Union Oil's anti-pollution gasoline. You may have heard that some anti-pollution gasolines will rob your car of performance. Not low-lead regular 76. Union reduced the lead to just 1/2 gram per gallon. Added 5 engine cleaners and extra high-octane gasoline molecules. So low-lead regular actually performs better overall in most cars than high-lead regulars. In fact, low-lead regular 76 will increase the life of your car's muffler and tailpipe and double spark plug life. If your car uses regular gasoline, most likely you can use low-lead regular 76. It's just part of what makes Union 76 different. Find out for yourself wherever you see the big orange 76 sign. Fill up with low-lead regular 76, the better all-around gasoline that's in the spirit of cleaner air. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
Don Sutton against Don Gullit here tonight. Gullit 9-3 and Sutton 9-8. And here are the batting orders for the ball game. For the Dodgers, Maury Wills at shortstop, Manny Mota in left field, Willie Davis in center, Richie Allen at third, Wes Parker at first, Bobby Valentine in right, Joe Ferguson catching, Bill Russell at second base, and Don Sutton to do the pitching.
Presenting the Cincinnati Reds, the catcher.
The batting order for the Reds, Pete Rose in right, Bernie Carbo in left, Lee May at first, Tony Perez at third, Johnny Bench catching, George Foster in center, Tommy Helms at second, Woody Woodward at short, and Don Gullit to do the pitching. The Reds have taken the field here now at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, and we'll be underway in a moment. Right now, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through
Reds are out defensively now. The umpires for the ball game will be Steiner at the plate, Davidson at first, Crawford at second, and Landis will be at third. The Dodgers coming into Cincinnati for a 3-game series here before coming on home into Dodger Stadium on Friday night, and they will then play the Atlanta Braves, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Reds on the 9-game homestand. The homestand will open Friday night with Atlanta coming in, and Bill Singer's due to pitch in the opening game of that series. The pitching here in Cincinnati tomorrow night, Doyle Alexander against Gary Nolan, and then on Thursday, Al Downing against Jim McLaughlin. On the mound now, the young left-hander who has been the hottest pitcher for the Reds this year, 9 wins and 3 losses, hard-throwing left-hander Don Gullit, who is just a couple of years out of high school. Boy, he can fire it in there. Gullit has an earned run average of 2.73. He shut out the Dodgers in his only appearance against them earlier in the year. This will be his second start. He shut them out in the second game of a doubleheader here when the Dodgers were here in April. The Dodgers will have 3 games this series and 2 in their last trip to Cincinnati. They stand 5-2 against the Reds so far on the year. The Reds have had a lot of problems this year. They have won 44, lost 53. They are 14.5 back. The Dodgers are 7 back behind the Giants, who won last night, as did the Dodgers. And the Houston Astros are right behind the Dodgers now again, 9.5 back, 2.5 behind the Dodgers, and only 1 back on the lost side. So a big 3-game set here now, as the Dodgers on this trip stand 2-4, and they're trying to come home with perhaps 5 wins if they could sweep, 4 if they can win 2, and then get set for the invasion of Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati on the next homestand coming up. It is a beautiful evening. It has been a great day. Temperature in the 70s, bright sunshiny skies, and the weather forecast for the entire 3 days is about the same. So we should have good games and good weather conditions here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Okay, time to play ball. The Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds from Cincinnati. And now for the play-by-play, here's Vin Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you, wherever you may be. The Dodgers have stumbled upon a beauty. Boy, we had a great day yesterday fighting the rain in Pittsburgh. We finally got it in, and it has come up clean and freshly scrubbed in Cincinnati for today. Don Gullit, tremendously talented left-hander, will start things off and makes his first pitch to Wills, and it's fouled away. 0-1. 0-1 to count, Amore. Hitting .295. Gullit making his 19th start. He got a big break when Jim Maloney was hurt, and that put Gullit out of the bullpen, and boy, what a ball player he's become. Little foul into the crowd back of the Reds dugout, and the count 0-2 to Maury Wills. Gullit shut the Dodgers out in the second game of a doubleheader way back in April. His last victory, he beat Montreal. He allowed only 1 run, but was not involved in a decision against the Giants. 9-3 with the lead. Don Gullit. Left-hander ready, and the strike 2 fastball is over. Strike 3 called. So Maury Wills looks at a third one. 1 out. The batter will be Manny Mota. The Dodgers are having a very tough time against left-handers, and of course that's always a bad sign. They had trouble with George Stone, who shut them out in Atlanta, and then ran up against Luke Walker, who had them no-hitted into the 9th. So suddenly they are under .500 against left-handers on the road. They're 6-8. The first pitch to Manny Mota missing, ball 1, 1-0. Don Gullit and Johnny Bench. Bench returning to the wars. Bench is now in his 3rd game since the 7th of July. That does not include the All-Star game. The 1-0 pitch to Mota is hit to shortstop. Woodward was shading him to second base and throws him out. 2 away, and Willie Davis coming up. Willie has been swinging a hot bat, particularly against the Reds. He's at .385 against Cincinnati. Say, here's a reminder. You know, you can stop at any participating Union Oil dealer in the Los Angeles area and get a coupon worth 50 cents off on a Universal Studio tour. Willie Davis, 10 for 26. Up there against left-hander Gullit. Tony Perez plays him up inside the bag at third. Gullit ready over the top, and the fastball is low. Ball 1. Mel Steiner, the plate umpire. Dave Davidson at first. Shag Crawford at second. Stan Landis at third. Gilliam and Ozark on the lines for the Dodgers. Gullit, both feet on the rubber, and Bench wigwags a couple of signs out. Gullet into the windup, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and foul tipped, and the count 1-1. In talking about Johnny Bench, who returns to the lineup, he's been in and out since the 7th. He was struck on the back of the hand by a foul ball off the bat of Richie Hebner. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way in the dirt ball, too. 2-1. Sparky Anderson and Johnny Bench agreed before the game today that John is just going to have to play in pain until it goes away. He's gotten cortisone shots, and now he can just play. Nothing serious, just a severe bruise. Davis swings late on a fastball that was more sound than sight, and the count 2-2. It's tough enough to hit against Gullet at any time, but we have a bright blue sky finish to this day. And boy, when you got somebody who can hurry that ball up to the plate like Gullet, you're in a hole. 2-2, the count to Willie Davis. Here comes Gullet. Fastball fouled away off third, out of play. 2-2, the count. The Dodgers have done well against the Reds, taken 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles and 3 out of 4 here in Cincinnati. Gullet checking. Davis waiting, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball fouled away again off to the left and out of play. The Reds find themselves 2.5 games back of Atlanta and 14.5 games back of the divisional leading Giants. So for the Reds, not only do they have to catch the Giants, they'd have to climb over a lot of people. They've got to get over Atlanta, Houston, and the Dodgers. And that's a crowd. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Willie Davis. Swung on and sliced foul down the left field line into the crowd alongside the Dodger bullpen. So Willie has fouled off 3, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gullit is making his 18th start. He has completed only 2, but he's only a youngster. The pitch to Willie, strike 3 called. And all Gullit does is strike out 2 out of 3. Dodgers are gone at the end of half an inning. Dodgers nothing, Cincinnati coming up.
Tomorrow night, the Reds...
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. One chance at life, and you can't be afraid to live it, because second chances never come, but you wouldn't have it any other way. Same with your beer. You wouldn't have it any other way either. Schlitz. Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
First batter for Cincinnati, number 14, the right fielder, Pete Rose.
Bottom of the first inning here at Riverfront Stadium. The Dodgers turned away by 20-year-old left-hander Don Gullit. And now here come the Reds. Pete Rose, Bernie Carbo, and Lee May. And Don Sutton ready to go to work. Right-hander over the top, and the first pitch is low, ball 1. Pete Rose hitting .307, 7 home runs, 21 runs batted in. We'll set the Dodgers defensively. Joe Ferguson behind the plate with left-hander Gullit going for Cincinnati. Sutton's next one is lifted to left center field. Mota and Davis moving over, and Mota there to make the catch. 1 away. The Dodger infield, Wes Parker and Bill Russell. The Fever now reports he's okay. But after getting 3 hits last night, Walter Olson decided to keep Russell in there tonight. Maury Wills at short, Richie Allen at third, Manny Mota is in left, Willie Davis is in center, and Bobby Valentine in right. Bernie Carbo is having quite a struggle in his sophomore year. He had all kinds of things going for him last year, but as he comes to the plate now, he's hitting only .224. He hit .310 last year. Carbo last year had 21 home runs, 63 runs batted in. This year, he has 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Now you wonder about just how tough it is in the big leagues. Why, Bernie Carbo can take the witness stand and attest to that fact. The second time around has not been a charm at all for Bernie. Left-hand hitter. Strike one change is whacked to Davis, and Willie has a bead on it and makes the catch for the out. So 2 out in the first inning, and big Lee May coming up.
The first baseman, Lee May.
Sparky Anderson was saying before the ballgame he's having trouble getting 2 hot hitters in the lineup at the same time. They seem to get 1, but not 2. Lee May was red hot for a while. He has cooled off. He's still hitting .287, and he has 24 home runs, 57 runs batted in. Sutton's curve is high, ball 1. But anyway, May started to cool, and that's just when Tony Perez came awake with the bat. And Sparky said if I could just get those 2, or bench and 1 other together, we'd start making some runs. They're not hitting the way they did last year. The 1-0 pitch on the way, fastball foul back out of play, 1-1. One of the reasons the Reds are not scoring as much as last year is their new ballpark. In fact, everybody kept talking so much about the big red machine of last year, you overlooked the fact that last year's Cincinnati club scored 100 runs fewer than the Reds club of the year before. But nobody realized that, since the Reds were hightailing it to the National League Divisional Championship and then to the pennant. But then, of course, with all the injuries, they were just a carbon copy by the time the series came around. The pitch to Lee May is high, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. With the AstroTurf, however, their fielding has improved tremendously, and the pitching is holding up very well. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. Hard breaking ball, 2-2 the count to Lee May. Two down, first inning, no score. First game of the 3-game series. Gary Nolan and Doyle Alexander tomorrow. Jim McLaughlin and Al Downing, the concluding game on Thursday. Now the 2-2 pitch to Lee May. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 3, up and in around the shoulders. So Sutton challenged him and struck him out. The Reds are gone in order. At the end of an inning, no score.
Holding a season ticket.
Farmer John is mighty happy to share in bringing you these Dodger broadcasts, and he wants to thank his loyal friends for reaching for his Farmer John all-meat wieners just as fast as he puts them in your store. It seems that the word's getting around that no other wieners can match Farmer John's. Farmer John sees to this by putting a little more care and cost into making them. He uses only fresh Eastern corn-fed pork and fresh, lean, juicy homegrown beef. And he seasons his wieners with expensive natural herbs and spices imported from abroad. Then Farmer John smokes his wieners over real smoke from native western wood to give them a wonderful western flavor all their own. If you're still buying some other kind of wieners, all Farmer John asks is that you give his a try and compare. Look for Farmer John wieners in the delicatessen section of your market, or pamper your youngsters and get them the extra-long Farmer John wieners we call Dodger Dogs. Both won gold medals at the California State Fair. Second inning, no score in the ball game. The Dodgers and Reds, Don Gullit and Don Sutton. It'll be Richie Allen, followed by Wes Parker, and then Bobby Valentine. Allen hitting 15 home runs, 59 RBI, batting .284. So Gullet tunes up the Johnny Bench, and here we go. Richie a .284 average, and Don Gullet watching his teammates whip the ball around the infield. And into this second inning we go. Dodgers have won 5 out of 7 from the Reds. We'll get reports, but it's a little too early to even try and check. We'll keep track of the Pirates and the Giants for you. Rich Allen takes a look, and it's a strike, 0-1. Steve Garvey working out every day now, and he's within a couple of days of being ready. Gullet comes back to the plate, and it's hit to left field, sinking in front of Carbo for a base hit. So Richie Allen singles to left. That would give him his highest average as a Dodger. He was 284, and with that base hit, he'll move up.
Number 28, the first baseman, Wes.
And the batter will be Wes Parker. Parker hitting 287, although he is doing a better job with right-handed at 296. Johnny Bench talking to Mel Steiner, I think, about properly defining the batter's box, or is he just examining the bat? And Steiner now looks at the bat. There's something on the bat around the trademark, and Steiner doesn't like it. It was Bench who spotted it. I don't know what it is, but Parker is now talking to Steiner. There was something right up around the trademark, as if it had been scratched with a bottle cap or something, and they usually do that to the handles. And Bench saw it and said that the bat was illegal, and then Steiner looked at it and told Parker he couldn't use it. So West comes up with what might be a brand new bat now, and the other bat goes back. And no doubt he'll try and sneak it in another time, another day, although he acted as if the man who was just innocent. He's at the plate. Gullet delivers. Fastball is popped foul back of the plate. Johnny Bench coming back to the base of the screen. He'll run out of room. It's on the other side of the screen. And the count 0-1. Richie Allen standing at first. Nobody out in the second inning. No score. Don Gullet, 20-year-old, a remarkable athlete. Gullet is from nearby Lynn, Kentucky. He's an even 6, 210-pounder. Looks at first, comes to the plate, and it's swung on and missed strike 2. And Parker cheated, didn't get much of a swing at that one. Gullet was only 20 in January. Barring injury, if he just has normal development, he has to become one of the big stars in the league. Gullet at the belt, and comes back to Parker and bounces one. Allen holding at first base. Gullet had 1 year in Class A ball at Sioux Falls. He was 7-2, and after that he's been in the big league. Last year and this, ever since Maloney was injured, he got a starting role, and he's been something. 9-3. Fastball foul back in the count 1-2. Of course, he had tremendous numbers in high school. He pitched a perfect game in prep school, striking out 20 of the 21 batters. He struck out 120 batters in 52 innings. In football, he scored 72 points in a game, in one game, and 47 points in basketball. Parker pops one up on the right side. Tommy Helms hollering, I got it, and you can hear him way up here as he makes the catch. So Richie Allen holding it first. Parker pops up, one away.
Number 2, the right fielder.
So Gullet, quite a kid when he came out of high school, and he's become quite a kid in the big leagues. One away, and Bobby Valentine the batter. So Valentine, who hasn't had a chance to play too much of late. Bobby Darwin was playing right field. Now Valentine gets in and draws a rough customer at the twilight time. Valentine hitting 243, looks at Gullet's fastball, and it's high. Ball 1, 1-0. Richie Allen at first base. He's stolen 6 out of 7 attempts. No score. Second inning, just the start of the evening. One away. Gullen, another look at Rich. Now the pitch to Valentine outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Ferguson Jenkins won his 15th today. Doc Ellis is 15-3. He'll pitch against the Giants in that series. Gullet, who is 9-3, is no longer listed in the leaders as far as most victories in the league, but he's right up there in percentage. Foul ball hit down the right field line, out of play. 2-1 to count to Bobby Valentine. Richie Allen at first, one out in the second, no score. The Dodgers with 2 11-game winners in Downing and Osteen, and they're trying to get Sutton his 10th, and Don has pitched well enough to have won 11 by now. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Valentine. Fastball in the dirt, a bluff by Bench sends Allen racing back to the bag. 3-1 to Bobby, who now has a look at Danny Ozark. On deck, Joe Ferguson. Gullit reading Johnny Bench. The outfield about straight away. Gullit a look at Allen. He does not go. The fastball is hit rolling to first baseman May, who picks it up and goes to second for one. Back to first, double play. Valentine is appealing that May was off the bag, but the first base umpire Dave Davidson said no. And Bobby is kicking dirt. He better watch out. He'll get kicked out of the ballgame. And Gilliam now gets between Valentine and Davidson and chases him away. Valentine cued the ball off the end of the bat, hits into a double play, and is kept out of being thrown out of the game by Jim Gilliam. No runs a hit, nobody left. At the end of an inning and a half, no score.
The Reds take on the Montreal.
The area code for calling New York City is 212. The area code in Los Angeles is 213. And in Chicago, it's 312. So you can see that if you dial just one digit incorrectly, the mistake can put you off by thousands of miles. Now, if that should happen to you, Pacific Telephone doesn't want you to have to pay for it. If you make a mistake dialing a long-distance call, there's no charge for it, as long as you let Pacific Telephone know that it happened. How do you let them know? Just call the operator and tell her about it. Give her the number you were trying to reach, and if possible, a city or number you did reach, and she'll take care of the rest. Dialing direct long distance is still the fastest and easiest way of getting your calls through. So they've made it as easy as possible for you to make the record right when you dial the wrong number. It's just part of what the people at Pacific Telephone mean when they say, "Friends, we're here to help." Bottom of the second inning, no score. Tony Perez, Johnny Bench, and George Foster in that order. Tony Perez is red hot. His average 256, but he's done a lot of hitting to get that high. He's 11 for his last 31. That would be 355. His last 9 games, 12 RBIs, 4 home runs. He had 3 RBIs last night. Perez swings, doesn't get the first one, 0-1. When we saw Tony Perez, he wasn't hitting at all. He didn't even look like Tony Perez. He had a bad hand, an injured hand that he had hurt in spring training, and the Reds try to keep it quiet. But it's pretty hard to keep it a secret watching Tony swing in those days. He hits a fastball into left field for a base hit. So Perez is back to normal again, and of course the picture brightens considerably for Cincinnati, and the batter will be Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench is another fellow who can tell you about the other side of good fortune. Bench won everything in sight last year. This year he's hitting .244. Bench hit .293 last year. Sutton's curveball is low and away, ball 1. John has 18 home runs and 37 runs batted in. Last year he had 45 home runs and 148 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Fast one swung on and missed, 1-1. Bench swinging hard, staggered out in front of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex Grammas coaching at third base for the Reds. George Scherger coaching at first. 1-1 the count. Sutton looks over at Perez, changes on Bench, and throws it in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-1. Riverfront Stadium. The Dodgers have gone from Three Rivers Stadium to the Riverfront here in Cincinnati. And then next stop will be home. Dodgers fly home Thursday night and open up Friday night against the Atlanta Braves. And remember the weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon, and Saturday night the Hollywood Stars game. All the big names going against the sportscasters. Bench pops it up. And let's see who'll call. It'll be Bill Russell, losing his cap in the process, getting underneath it now, and makes the catch for the out. 1 away. The pitchers for that Saturday night's game, it'll be fun just to see them in uniform. Don Drysdale and Don Newcomb. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
More baseball action on KFI Los Angeles coming up. First, though, this word from Dave Garraway on Who's On from 4 to 7 now each afternoon except Sunday. The word is peace.
George Foster finally bangs the first pitch into left field for a base hit. So 2 on with 1 out. Foster didn't waste any time. And coming up now will be Tommy Helms, who is having a fine year. Tommy hitting .269. Helms took a long time to get going last year and wound up hitting only .237. Two on, 1 out. Second inning, no score. Don Sutton and Don Gullit tonight. Doyle Alexander and Gary Nolan tomorrow. Jim McLaughlin and Al Downing on Thursday. Woody Woodward on deck. Helms right-hand hitting second baseman. Sutton looks, works the plate. Fastball hit to Wills. He goes to Russell. He's back to Parker. Double play on a great stretch and snare by Parker of what would have been a wild throw. Russell, tied up by George Foster, just did get the ball away and almost threw it away. No runs, 2 hits, a man left. And at the end of 2, no score. A lot of people are economizing these days by sticking pretty close to the family budget. But you know how it is with budgets. Quite often they just aren't geared to take care of, say, a tire that suddenly goes flat or a dying battery. Which means that a nice thing to have is this card and Union 76 revolving credit. Union 76 revolving credit means you can get the tires, battery, or other automotive accessories you need now, conveniently, with no fuss. No 3, 6, or 12-month deadlines to meet. No complicated contracts to sign. It's just like shopping with a department store credit card, which helps your budgeting enormously, even when the unexpected occurs to your car. So be sure to give yourself a little added protection. Drop by your Union 76 dealers and pick up a credit card application. Union 76 is the first major gasoline company throughout the West to offer you revolving credit. It's all part of our spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil. 2 innings are in the books. The Dodgers no runs, 1 hit, a single by Richie Allen. The Reds no runs, 2 hits, singles by Perez and Foster. The Dodgers came up with a double play ball on Tommy Helms, just as the Reds came up with 1 against Bobby Valentine. So Gullit and Sutton are scoreless as we go to the 3rd. Don't forget now, the homestand starts Friday night with Atlanta. Then the Pirates are in during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, followed by the same Cincinnati Reds for the closing weekend. Great homestand. We sure hope you make your plans to be with us. Let's go to the 3rd on a sparkling night in Cincinnati. No score, and for more play-by-play, here's Jerry Doggett.
All right, Vinny. Ferguson, Russell, and Sutton now due up against Gullet, who has allowed 1 hit, a single by Allen. The Reds have 2 hits, and we have no score. Joe Ferguson, 1 home run. That was a big one. It came against Luke Walker to spoil the no-hitter on Sunday. Joe hitting .227 with 1 home run and 5 runs batted in. Now the left-hander Gullet into the windup, and the fastball comes in low. 1 ball and no strikes. Russell out on deck. Next pitch on the way. Fastball is inside, and it is ball 2. Two balls and no strikes. Now the pitch on the way. A swing and a miss on a fastball. Two and 1 the count. Ferguson waiting again. Big, strong right-hand batter. Now Gullet delivers, and a swing and a high pop fly foul on the third baseline. Down the line comes Tony Perez under it now and makes the catch for the out. So Ferguson out on a foul ball to the third baseman, Tony Perez. 1 away, and Bill Russell coming up. Look for the special slit 16-ounce bottle display most everywhere. Russell had 3 hits in the ball game at Pittsburgh last night. So Bill's batting average is at .230. He had 3 singles in his last 3 times up. Now the pitch, swung and missed, strike 1. Russell scored 3 runs in the game. The Dodgers winning it by a score of 10-4. Now the 0-1 pitch to Bill comes high for a ball, and the count is 1-1. One ball and one strike. There's a foul off to the left in the stands. And the count goes to 1-2. A report out of Pittsburgh. The Pirates started Steve Blass, who was hit on the knee by a line drive and had to come out in the first inning of the game. And the Giants scored a run. Perry for the Giants, and Veal now pitching for the Pirates in the second inning. 1-0 Giants lead. There's a drive into right field. Coming up for it is Rose, and makes the catch for the out. The Russell string is snapped on a line drive to right field, handled by Pete Rose.
Number 20, the pitcher, Don.
That brings to bat Don Sutton. So that report, our first report out of Pittsburgh, Perry against now Bob Veal, as Blass had to go out of the ball game, hit in the knee by a line drive. Here's Don Sutton at bat. Don has a .213 batting average. He has 10 hits and 3 runs batted in. There are 2 outs in the top of the third inning. Now the pitch on the way to Don, a bouncing ball to the right side. Lee May makes a great backhand play. Throws to Gullet in time, and Sutton is out. Boy, May made a super play on that one, going way wide of the bag towards second base. To come up, and he stopped and waited for Gullet, and hit him right with a good throw, and the side retired. 3 up and 3 down, the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Dodgers nothing and the Reds nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. Because you only go one time around. So you reach for all the gusto you can, even in the beer you drink. Settle for less and you settle for nothing. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Number 6, the shortstop, Woody Woodward.
Now we go along into the last of the third inning with Woodward, Gullet, and Rose coming on. Woody Woodward batting .236 with 10 runs batted in and no home runs. Other scores this afternoon: Chicago beat New York 4-2. Jenkins the winner all the way, 15-8 now. Gentry the loser, and the Mets have lost 15 of 18, and the Cubs have won 10 out of 14. Here's a fastball in high, 1 ball and no strikes. They had nearly 38,000 in Chicago today for the day game, and they have passed the million mark in Chicago. Night game schedule: San Diego at Atlanta. There's a swing and a foul down the left field line, out of play by Woody Woodward. Montreal is at Houston, and Philadelphia at St. Louis. The American League schedule: Milwaukee at Washington, Minnesota at New York, Chicago at Boston, Baltimore at Kansas City, Cleveland at Oakland, and Detroit will be at California. No reports yet out of the American League. Woodward takes a strike on a fastball. 1-2 to Woody. Woody Woodward playing shortstop, batting 8th. Don Gullit on deck. We're in the last half of the third inning. Now the look, and Woodward backs out. He got a little dirt in his eye. Here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, the Reds occupy the first base dugout. The ballpark opened last year just in time to have the All-Star game played here. It was not quite completed at that time, and they are still putting some finishing touches on it. The area in center field where the stadium club will be located has not been completed yet. This one's high and tight, and Woodward goes down under a high, hard fastball. His bat hit the ground. Ferguson picks that one up. The ball comes down, and Sutton comes down halfway as if to say, "I'm sorry, he didn't mean to throw at him." Allen slipped a high, hard fastball, and Woody had to get out down under that one. 2-2 the count. All right, Woodward back in there. Don checks signs again. Here's his windup now and his pitch on the way. Curveball, fly ball down the right field line. Going off in the corner, it'll go out of play down in the stand. Sutton lost his last start to the Braves 3-1, and his last win was July the 5th over the Giants. So he's gone 15 days without a victory. And he's pitched well the last couple of times out. Strike 3 called. A good curveball, and Woody Woodward is called out on strikes. So Woodward goes down, 1 away. Strikeout number 1 for Don Sutton. And here's the pitcher, Don Gullet, and he's a pretty good hitter. Gullet this year has 4 hits in 39 trips at bat and 2 runs batted in. Gullet, a right-hander with the bat, a left-hander when he's on the mound pitching. 1 away. All right, Sutton rubs off a sign from Ferguson, ready to go to work with it. Ferguson catching all the time now against the left-hand pitching, and the Dodgers are seeing a lot of left-handers. Curve, strike, 0-1. On deck, Pete Rose. No score. The Reds have had 2 hits. The Dodgers have had 1. First game of the 3-game series here in Cincinnati. There's a chopper hit out in front of the plate. Allen's coming fast for it and has no chance. Gullit can run. He beats that one out easily. But Don Gullit, who is often used as a pinch runner, legs out a hit toward third. Allen did not even bother to throw because Gullit was down that line in a hurry. Boy, that young man can really do a lot of things. He runs, he can pitch, he swings the bat okay. He was, of course, a high school basketball and football star. And at 20 years old, he's in his 2nd full year in the big leagues. All right, Gullit at first. Pete Rose, the batter, flied to left field his first time up. An infield roller for a base hit for Gullit. The 3rd hit allowed by Sutton. Don had a lot of numbers in his last game in Atlanta. Balls bouncing by people. Here's the fastball for strike, 0-1. On 1 count to Rose. The Dodgers again played the infield double play depth with Rose up there. He has good speed, though. Tough to double up. Fastball is away, and the count 1-1. The Dodgers 3 more out on the road, then come home for a big weekend with Atlanta, followed by Pittsburgh and then Cincinnati. New ball put to play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rose, the leadoff man. Pete batting .307. He has 7 home runs and 21 runs batted in. The Reds have a team batting average of .240. That's considerably below what they had last year when they were dubbed the Big Red Machine. The Dodgers, by the way, have a .270 batting average at the moment. Here's the pitch. Bounced up the first baseline. It'll be foul ball. Parker plays it, gives it back to Sutton, and the count 1-2 to Rose. The Reds pitching is okay, but their hitting is considerably off from last year. The Reds' team earned run average is .340. They have allowed the opposition a combined batting average of .243, which is very good. Rose takes low, ball 2, 2-2. The Dodgers have allowed the opponents a combined average of .254, but the earned run average is better, .331, which means the Dodgers' defense has given up more runs, but the pitching by the Dodgers has been a little better. There's a bouncing ball towards short. Wills goes to Russell, 1, back to first. Too late. Rose, who runs well, had the extra step going from the left side, and he is able to avoid the double play. So the force out, Wills to Russell for the out there on Gullet, and that'll bring up Bernie Carbo, who flied to center field his first time up. So Rose is the runner at first base now with 2 down. Carbo hitting .224, has 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. Carbo, left-hand hitter, takes a curveball low and inside, ball 1. Carbo last year with the Reds hit .310 in 125 ball games, so he's off to a slower start this year. Swings and nubs one out toward the mound. Sutton comes down for it, makes his play in time, and the inning is over. So Carbo, a little roller back to Sutton, and the Reds are gone in the third. No runs, a hit, one left on, and the score at the end of 3 innings of play, Dodgers nothing and the Reds nothing.
Making out a baseball lineup is easy compared to figuring out the weekly shopping list. What meats to serve for supper? That's the big question. One meat some homemakers tend to overlook is sausage. Oh, sure, they serve Farmer John's sausage for breakfast, but you know, it's also a hearty, wholesome main meal meat, too. Farmer John makes his sausage with all the best meat, not just the trimmings, so it's extra nourishing and satisfying. He uses only finest Eastern corn-fed pork.
Hollywood Stars Night Saturday, also Ladies Night at Dodger Stadium. Ladies admitted for 50 cents, and that has to be one of the big bargains of the year. So come on out early, ladies. Make it a family night at Dodger Stadium as the Hollywood Stars game Saturday night. For mom and sis, the cost of admission only 50 cents. And the Braves will be in town. And, of course, all the Hollywood Stars, their game will start at 6:30. The regular game will start at 7:30. So the Dodgers get back home Friday playing the Braves, then have the big activities on Saturday, and then the concluding game on Sunday with Atlanta. Pittsburgh in on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and you sure ought to come out and see the Pirates. They have a tremendous ball club. And then the Reds, who are really playing much better now, will be in to conclude that homestand. All right, we go along to the 4th inning. More play. Here's Vin.
All right, Jerry. For the Dodgers, Maury Wills has started off. He'll be followed by Manny Mota and then Willie Davis. And the Dodgers up to their hips against Don Gullit, and the Reds at the same time having not much luck with Don Sutton. So into the 4th, no score. Wills struck out in the 1st inning, fouled off 2, and then looked at a 3rd strike. So he checks in now for the 2nd time. Tony Perez plays him up inside the bag at 3rd. The first pitch to Wills, low, ball 1, 1-0. A beautiful evening in Cincinnati. Wow, have we been lucky. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Wills fouls it back out of play, and the count 1-1. So many years you come to Cincinnati at this time of the year, and the humidity is so very high along the banks of the Ohio Valley, along the river. But boy, it is magnificent here today. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Wills lifts it into left field and pretty deep. Carbo going back along with his center fielder, but it'll be Carbo handling the catch. George Foster backing up on him. Say, you know, your home team deserves the best to find pork products from Farmer John's. To look for them in the meat department and the delicatessen section of your market. One away in the batter, Manny Mota. Mota has been hitting a very quiet .289. In fact, he's been hitting a quiet .300. Manny has not been involved in many plays this year. He has 18 RBIs. Takes high, ball 1. 1-0 to Manny. Don Gullit has allowed 1 hit through 3 innings, and the Dodgers know all about that. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Mota. Fastball low, ball 2, 2-0. Gary Nolan tomorrow night, Jim McLaughlin on Thursday night. The Dodgers will counter with Doyle Alexander tomorrow, and then Al Downing will go out Thursday, and the Dodgers will then go home and open up with the Braves Friday evening. The 2-0 pitch to Mota, a 1-hopper at Tommy Helms, who comes up with it and throws him out. 2 down, and Willie Davis the batter. Interesting thing about playing on AstroTurf, and especially here in Cincinnati where they have cutouts. In other words, there's only a little bit of dirt around the base paths. The infielders here get so accustomed to handling ground balls on pure, true hops that Sparky Anderson says they are actually shy when you get them out on the natural terrain. Of course, they're running out of ballparks like that. Davis takes low, ball 1. But, boy, I could imagine if you played 81 games here and then you played in Atlanta, you would think you're back in the minor leagues. And that's no knock on the ballpark in Atlanta. It's just a statement of fact. Their field is in terrible shape. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Davis. Line to left center. Base hit. Foster over to cut it off. Backhands and gets it quickly back into Woody Woodward.
Number 15.
Especially, I guess, if you're a third baseman. At third, you can only pray that you get all true hops because the ball comes so quickly. And you get them here. Richie Allen is 1 for 1. He singled to left field in the 2nd inning. Rich hitting about .286, which would be his highest average as a Dodger. 15 home runs, 59 runs batted in. With 2 out, Davis takes his lead, and Gullet just looks at him. The left-hander's fastball is low, ball 1. And Gullet had intimidated Davis that time. He was making his pitch to the plate, and Willie was scurrying back to the bag. 1-0. Don Gullet, another look at Willie Davis. Just stares at him, comes back to Allen, and it's fouled away off to the left upstairs. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 to Richie Allen. Lee May holding the bag on Willie Davis. Willie leaning towards second, but retreats. Gullet's fastball is fouled back. Boy, he's not trying to be cute. He just challenged Richie Allen. Letter high fastball in the count 1-2. Gullet struck out Wills and Davis in the first inning. Don Sutton has equaled him in strikeouts, each with 2. 1-2 the count to Richie with Wes Parker on deck. No score, 4th inning. Gullet at the bell to look at Davis. Here he comes to Allen and gets him on the outside corner, knee high, strike 3 called. Great pitch. He'd been pitching him up and in, and he hit the edge at the knees, and down he goes. No runs, a hit, a man left, and at the end of 3.5 innings, no score.
If the old family car could stand a tune-up, or has a few dents to be ironed out, you're in the market for automotive repairs, which means a quick look in the yellow pages to find the particular service you need. Practically all the services you need for your car are listed there, including ads giving helpful information on what different firms can offer. The automotive listing starts with automobile air conditioning and runs right through to automobile wrecking, with stops in between for body and fender repair, new and used car sales, where to lease a car, or where to get it tuned. You'll find everything for your car listed in the yellow pages between auctioneers and awnings. So let your fingers do the walking through the yellow pages.
Bottom of the 4th inning, no score in the ball game. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits for the Reds. Lee May, Tony Perez, and Johnny Bench in that order. Lee May struck out in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Big right-hand hitting first baseman. The May waiting. Sutton checks with Joe Ferguson, and here we go into the 4th. Don ready and delivers. Breaking ball is fouled back, 0-1. Wedges right into the auxiliary scoreboard. 0-1, the count to Lee May. May waiting, the crowd captivated by that foul ball that stuck right in the scoreboard. The strike 1 pitch. Breaking ball grounded to third, tricky hopper. Richie Allen stays with it and throws him out. That ball started to hook and then suddenly spun the other way.
Third baseman Tony Perez.
1 down, and the batter Tony Perez. Perez single to left in the second inning. He's 1 for 1. Perez a hot hitter. Sutton checking Ferguson. Now Don ready. Fastball foul back to the wire. 0-1. No score. Bottom of the 4th. No runs. 3 hits for Cincinnati. All singles by Perez, Foster, and then Gullet had a number. The Dodgers, no runs, 2 hits, singles by Allen and Davis. Next one is pop foul off to the right of the plate and back into the crowd, and the count 0-2. Beautiful ballpark, Riverfront Stadium, 330 down the lines, 375 to left center and right center, 404 to center. So it is smaller than Three Rivers Stadium by 10 feet almost all around. The strike 2 pitch is a high pop fly up in that light blue. Wills backs out, waiting for it to come down, still waiting, and makes the catch. Remember, it was 340 down the lines of Three Rivers, 385 up the alleys, and 410 at center. So this ballpark is a little bit smaller than the one in Pittsburgh. Here's Johnny Bench. Bench popped up in the second inning, 0 for 1. Ferguson in a crouch behind the plate. Don Sutton, who's been pitching so well and has come away empty-handed his last 2 times, changes up, and it's foul back, 0-1. I guess the most memorable change we've seen in a long time was the 3-2 pitch that Pete Mickelson threw to Johnny Bench here back in April. The runners were going, and the game was on the line, and Mickelson threw a palm ball, and Bench went around and around again. And the Dodgers walked off the field winners. What a pitch that was. Strike 1 pitch. Another change with a little hook at the end of it, but it's low and away. 1-1. Sutton doesn't usually throw that pitch. George Foster, the ex-Giant, in the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Hard curve for a strike. Bench tried to hold up and couldn't do it, and the count 1-2. Foster came to Cincinnati in a deal that sent Frank Duffy, young infielder, to San Francisco. One and two, the count to Johnny Bench. 2 down, 4th inning, no score. Sutton delivers, fastball, foul back. He's going after these home run hitters with that fastball of his. He's right up and in on them. It's just where he was pitching Lee May. 1-2 to Johnny Bench. Dodgers winners of 5 out of 7 from the Reds. Don checking, Bench waiting. Now the 1-2 pitch coming up. Sutton delivers, hard breaking ball low and away. 2-2. Steiner looks down at Dave Davidson, who shook his head no. Stan Landis on the line at third. Shag Crawford, the second base umpire. 2-2 pitch coming up. Change. Whack to left field. Goodbye. He threw Johnny Bench 3 off-speed pitches. He threw him a straight change, and Bench fouled it back. Then he threw him a change curve that was taken. And then 2-2, he came back with the straight change, and Bench hit it way upstairs in left field for his 19th home run. Reds lead 1-0. The batter is George Foster. He takes a breaking ball for a strike. Don Sutton had allowed a home run to Dick Dietz back in May. I don't think he's allowed a home run since until just now. The pitch fouled away by Foster. 0-2. The last home run that I can remember Sutton allowing, Dick Dietz hit it on the, I forget what day it was in May. It doesn't seem like he's been bothered by the home run ball at all ever since. The strike 2 pitch to Foster is swung on and fouled away. For Sutton, that is the 7th home run he has allowed, and where he normally leads, well, to put it in the proper perspective, he has now allowed 7. Osteen has allowed 17. So it's been a long time. I'd say 2 months since he allowed a home run ball. And what nags him, he got a high changeup, and Bench drove a nail through it. So 1-0 Cincinnati. Here's the pitch to Foster. Don into the windup, comes back to the right-hand hitter with a fastball outside. One and two. Sutton ready, and the 1-2 fastball is high and inside. Ball 2. 2-2. So Johnny Bench has hit his 19th home run on a straight change, and the Reds lead 1-0. Sutton reading Ferguson. Down to the windup, and the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball got him looking. Good curveball to end it. However, he can't get the change back. 1 run, 1 hit. And at the end of 4, Reds 1, Dodgers 0.
76 trombones, a march with a lot of spirit. And that's why Union 76 uses it as a theme for thousands of Union 76 dealers across the country. It took a spirit like Union Oils to bring you low-lead regular 76, the anti-pollution gasoline that gives even better overall performance in most cars than high-lead regulars. Union Oil did it by retaining just enough lead to protect your car's engine. Then, to assure performance, they added 5 engine cleaners and high-octane gasoline molecules. The result is a gasoline that reduces pollution, yet should perform better overall than the high-lead regular you've been using. It's a gasoline that doubles spark plug life, extends muffler and tailpipe life 50%. It's a gasoline so good in every way that Union Oil can offer it as their only regular. Switch to low-lead regular 76, the better all-around gasoline that's in the spirit of cleaner air. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
Right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Hi, this is Jack Angel. I get up to bat every day, and then I kiss her goodbye, and I come to work here at 50,000 watt KFI, Los Angeles.
Through 4 innings, the Reds are run, 4 hits, no errors. Dodgers no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Don Gullit surrendering a leadoff single to Allen in the 2nd inning and a 2-out single to Davis in the 4th.
Number 28, the first baseman,
Wes Parker, Bobby Valentine, and Joe Ferguson in that order here in the 5th inning. Gullet's earned run average is 2.7. He makes his first pitch, and it's popped in the air back of the plate. Johnny Bench takes a look to see how much room he has, throws the mask away, and makes the catch.
Number 2, the right fielder, Bobby Valentine.
1 away, and the batter, Bobby Valentine. Don Gullit has 2 complete games. They are both shutouts. A 3rd game where he needed help twice, they were shutouts. So he's been involved in 4 shutouts. Clay Carroll has had to help him twice. The Dodgers are struggling against him right now, 1 away. Bobby Valentine, trying to get out in front of a fastball, got too far out in front and cued it into a double play, started by Lee May, takes a half swing now and hits it to Helms, who throws him out. So Bobby has not had a good swing yet. Say, you know, when your telephone rings, it's a good idea to try and answer it as promptly as possible. It's thoughtful, it's courteous, and it's a good way to make sure that your caller doesn't hang up. Two down, and Joe Ferguson the batter. So Valentine on 2 half swings, 2 out. Ferguson fouled out in the 3rd inning. The Dodgers really have their hands full against Gullet. 1 run is not just 1 when Gullit is throwing strikes, and that's what he's doing tonight. Left-handed delivers, fastball for a strike, 0-1. Strike 1 pitch to Ferguson, off-speed pitch away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Don Gullit and Johnny Bench, the battery for the Reds. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Ferguson. Ground ball sharply to Woodward's left. Woody gobbles it up and throws him out. So Gullit getting good defensive play when he needs it, which is only twice so far. He got a double play ball and now that one. And at the end of 4 1/2, Reds 1, Dodgers nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. You only go around once a night, so you do it with all the gusto you got. Right down to the beer you drink. Less won't do. out of Schlitz. You're out of beef.
As we go to the bottom of the fifth inning with the Reds leading 1-0, a run, 4 hits, and no errors for Cincinnati. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. It'll be Don Sutton working now against Tommy Helms, Woody Woodward, and Don Gullit in that order. Sutton, before he goes to work, asks for time and goes over to talk to Richie Allen for the moment. It reminds us of something Sparky Anderson told us before the ball game. He said the other day he was sitting back in the dugout watching the ball game, and he said Helms tried to bunt. And Sparky said, I almost fell off the bench. He said, in a year and a half of looking at the Reds day after day, I have never seen Helms even try to bunt once. Fastball outside, ball 1. He said, I was so shocked that Tommy tried to bunt, I thought maybe he had misread a sign. Can you imagine? Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Tommy. Swung on and fouled away. 1-1. Brings to mind when you see Sutton go over and talk to the third baseman, you figure he might be saying stay alive for the bunt. And here's a fellow who has tried to bunt once on one pitch in over a year and a half. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Slipped high, tried to bend a curveball, but didn't have a good grip. 2-1 the count. Helms hit into a double play in the second inning, started by Wills. Tommy 0 for 1 from Charleston, North Carolina. 2-1 pitch. Tommy swings, fouls it back out of play, and the count 2-2. Oh, what a night in Cincinnati. I guess you enjoy this kind of weather in Cincinnati in direct ratio or proportion to how many days you have fried on the griddle here. Sutton into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball lifted to left field. Moda has a play. Manny trots in and over to his right a little bit. Under it now and makes the catch. 1 away.
Number 6.
Woody Woodward struck out in the third inning. 0 for 1. Right-hand hitting shortstop had to go down in a hurry on a pitch that got away. He's hitting .236. Flash on the message board. Flash from Pittsburgh. Ken Henderson's 2-run home run in the second inning has given the Giants an early 3-1 lead over the Pirates. And that would be against Bob Veal. The Dodgers got a tough break when they read about the Pirate misfortune. There's a drive to right field that Valentine will handle. Bobby gloves it for the second out. Steve Blass, who is certainly one of the top pitchers, if not the best, for the Pirates, was apparently struck on the knee by a line drive and unable to continue. Bob Veal, who has not pitched that well, ERA of over 5, if I remember the numbers last night. Veal was brought in to pitch, and the Giants are leading 3-1. Here's Woody Woodward, who just made out for the second out, so pitcher Don Gullit follows now, and right-hand batter. Sutton's fastball is outside, ball 1. 1-0. 2 down, fifth inning. Reds 1, Dodgers nothing. The difference, Johnny Bench, home run upstairs to left field. His 19th of the year. The 1-0 fastball is fouled away off to the right out of play. That goes well back into the crowd, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Ferguson wigwags a couple of signs out. Sutton picks off the one that he wants, and the 1-1 breaking ball is swung on and missed. Good curve. 1-2. Dodgers have Sutton and Ferguson, an infield of Parker and Russell, Wills and Allen, an outfield of Moda, Davis, and Valentine. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Curveball fouled off. The Dodgers, of course, having troubles against left-handers, and particularly having trouble since they have some youngsters at the bottom part of the lineup, and Gullet has been able to handle them. You have Valentine, Ferguson, Russell, and Sutton, the pitcher. Sutton reading Fergie, and Gullet waiting. Don into his windup, and the 1-2 pitch to his opposite number is swung on and missed, strike 3. So Gullet strikes out. Down go the Reds in the fifth, and at the end of 5, Cincinnati 1 and the Dodgers nothing. sometimes Farmer John tosses out a remark that makes me do a double take. Now, just the other day, he said a Farmer John ham is like a baseball game. What he meant, he said, is that both give you a lot of action for your money. Consider, he added, how much lean, red, high-protein meat you get from a Farmer John ham butt or shank for the low cost per pound. Plus, Farmer John ham provides a bonus in flavor. Farmer John smokes his ham 2 to 3 times as long as some people over native Western would to give it a marvelous Western flavor all its own. The first time you bake Farmer John ham, you can tell the difference. And when you make leftover ham dishes, the wonderful Western flavor comes through loud and clear. Most meats do for just one meal. A Farmer John ham makes 3 or 4 low-cost family feasts. So for meat that's as easy on your budget as it is pleasing, get Farmer John ham, gold medal winner at the California State Fair. It's the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor. Through 5 innings, the Reds continue to hold on to a 1-0 lead, furnished by Johnny Bench's 19th home run of the year. Johnny hitting a 2-out changeup with a 2-2 count, and he stuffed it upstairs in left field. And that's the difference. Don Sutton and Don Gullit thoroughly in command. Gullit now will be pitching to Bill Russell, Don Sutton, and Maury Wills. Russell hitting right-handed, fly to right field, his only trip. He takes a look at a pitch at his feet. Ball 1, 1-0. Jimmy Lefever's about ready to play again. But after Russell had 3 hits last night, Olson decided to let Bill have his head and play again tonight. He goes after a high fastball and doesn't get it, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1. Gullet ready, and the off-speed pitch fouled away. 1 and 2. Russ waiting, Gullet looking to Johnny Bench. Outfield about straight away on Billy. Now the 1-2 pitch. Gullet serves a high fastball. That brought Bench up out of a crouch in a hurry. 2 and 2. Tomorrow night, Doyle Alexander and Gary Nolan with Jim McLaughlin and Al Downing on Thursday. But, boy, we got a pitching duel tonight. 2-2, fastball is low, ball 3. 3 and 2. The Dodgers came in with a team batting average of 270. The Reds only 240. The pitch to Russell hit right between the legs of Gullet and on through into center field. So Bill singles, and that will bring up Don Sutton. The Reds have played 97 games, and they scored 326 runs. The Dodgers have played 96 games and have scored 409, so there's quite a difference. Say, don't forget, you can stop at any participating Union Oil dealer in the Los Angeles area and get a coupon worth 50 cents off on a Universal Studio tour. Here's Sutton, and the Reds think he's bunting, although usually they have fellas swinging away, but not now. He's bunting for a hit and bunts foul. Don was on the move as opposed to just trying to get the ball down. 0-1 to count. So Bill Russell at first base. The Dodgers with 3 hits now. Willie Davis, Richie Allen, and Bill Russell all singles. Gullit looks over at Russ. Now works Sutton, who's bunting, and pushes a bunt down to May. Lee's only plays to first base. So the sacrifice is in the books. Potential tying run at second base with Wills and Mota trying to pick him up. Maury Wills struck out and flied to left. He's 0 for 2. And Johnny Bench goes out to the mound to talk to Don Gullit. Both pitchers would appear to be extra strong tonight on a beautiful evening, and they both have good control and good stuff, and so it's 1-0 Reds in the 6th inning with 1 out. Johnny Bench home run is the difference. All right, Wills checks in at the plate. Morey's had a very tough time hitting right-handed. He is 110 points poorer from this side of the plate. He's hitting only .219. Gullet ready and delivers, and the fastball is low. Ball 1, 1-0. One ball, no strikes to Maury Wills. Russell, pretty good lead at second base. 1 out in the 6th, 1-0 Reds. Gullet a look back at second. Now the pitch to Wills, and I bounce it back to Gullet. He bluffs Russell on his hands and knees, throws to first for the out. May came off the bag and then went back. Russell went back, hands and knees on the bluff by Gullet. So 2 down, and the batter Manny Mota. Wills is just not the same hitter at all, right-handed. It's one of the reasons we don't want to put the body at Maury's door alone, but it is one of the big reasons why the Dodgers are struggling so much against left-handers. Their spearhead has been blunted. So Maury's 0 for 3. Russell still at second base, and the batter is Manny Mota. Mota 0 for 2. Grounded to short, grounded to second. Gullet ready, delivers, fastball, and rammed to right center, base hit. Foster plays it on a hop, but Russell scores easily, and it's all even at 1-1. So Manny Mota, line drive, base hit to pick up his 19th run batted in, and that'll bring up Willie Davis with 2 out. Willie Davis struck out and singled. He's 1 for 2. Don Gullit a look at Mota. Now Don to the plate, and it's a high pop foul, twisting off third base, and Perez has a play. Goes right through the coaching box and makes the catch. The Dodgers put together 2 base hits and a good bunt for a run. Leave a man, and at the end of 5.5. Dodgers 1, Reds 1.
Last year, more than 2,000 public telephones in California and Nevada were damaged by vandals and thieves.
Number 14, the right fielder, Pete.
First game of the 3-game series, remember. Doyle Alexander and Gary Nolan tomorrow night. Jim McLaughlin, Al Downing Thursday night, and the Dodgers home with Atlanta Friday night at Dodger Stadium. Saturday night, the Hollywood Stars game. Prior to the Dodgers-Braves game, the Stars game against the Sportscasters will begin at 6:30. Pete Rose is 0 for 2 and fouls it back, 0-1. Don Newcomb and Don Drysdale will be the opposing pitchers, and I'm sure there'll be a few gags on the field. We certainly hope you make your plans to be out there and enjoy the fun. Dick Martin is planning to play as long as he doesn't have to throw. We're not quite sure where we're going to put him. He doesn't want to throw, afraid he'd hurt his arm. Strike 1 pitch. Rose takes on the outside corner for a strike, 0-2. Dean Martin, of course, will be at shortstop, wearing a DeRocher uniform and Will spikes. Here's the strike 2 pitch coming up to Pistol Pete. Sutton's fastball spun him around. Ball 1. 1-2. Rose having a good year, hitting .307, 7 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He has 112 base hits, on his way to another 200-hit season. The 1-2 pitch to Pete Rose, breaking ball that stayed up. 2-2. Rose has had 200 hits 3 consecutive years, and 5 times in 6 years. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Pete. Fouled away. The only year when he missed, in 1967, he had 176 hits. But since 65, he learned how. 209 hits, 205 hits, 210 hits, 218 hits, and 205 hits. What a player. 2-2 pitch, fastball hit to the right of the mound. Sutton has it, juggles on the run, feeds Parker 1 away.
Number 25, the left fielder, Bernie Carbo.
The batter, Bernie Carbo, flied to center and hit back to the box. Carbo 0 for 2. Kid who had a great freshman year, eating some humble pies so far in 1971. Left-hand batter. Lee May on deck. Say, don't forget to look for the special Schlitz 16-ounce bottle display most everywhere. Don Sutton into the windup, works the left-hand hitter, change, and he got it over for a strike. 0-1. Richie Allen wide and up even with the bag. In fact, a step or so inside. Sutton comes back, strike one to Carbo. Bernie has a look, and he's going to pay another strike at the counter, and the count 0-2. Each side, a run, 4 hits, and no errors. Fine ball game. Ferguson, on those young legs, stays in a crouch behind the plate. He doesn't wander around much. 0-2 to Bernie Carbo. Sutton into the windup. Don ready, and the strike 2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 3. And he really pulled the trigger on that. That's 5 strikeouts for Don. 2 out in the 6th inning, and Lee May the batter. Sutton struck him out in the 1st inning. May grounded to Richie Allen in the 4th, 0-2. Don reading Ferguson, now ready to deliver, and May fouls it away. You know, in softball, you have a short fielder in center field. That's almost where Bill Russell is. He's not a second baseman. He doesn't have anything to do the area between first and second. He is a short fielder. He's playing a shallow center. 0-1 to count to May. Sutton ready, and Don strike 1 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 2. Big bender as opposed to that hard curve he's been throwing a lot. Boy, he's turned out to be quite a pitcher. I would say that Al Downing has the best record, but Don Sutton has the best stuff. Wow, he is really something. 0-2. Don into the windup, and the strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball just to show it to him. Ball 1. 1-2. May waiting, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball blew him down. So down goes Carbo and May on that public enemy number 2, the Express. Half a dozen strikeouts for Sutton, and at the end of 6, Dodgers 1, Reds 1.
Well, you know, not too long ago, Union Oil introduced low-lead regular 76 gasoline. And since then, thousands of motorists have used it and discovered it's an easy, practical way to help improve our air. But some of you are still a little skeptical. Sure, you want to help fight pollution, but not at the expense of performance. Performance you feel you'll lose because most of the lead is out. Well, the truth is, when Union Oil took most of the lead out of their regular, they added high-octane gasoline molecules. And the result is an anti-pollution gasoline with performance, one with spirit. Low-lead regular 76 is right for most cars that normally run on regular, no matter what make or model or year. So if you've been a little skeptical till now, at least come in and give Union Oil's low-lead regular 76 a try. That's the spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
We can duck in a couple of scores. The Cubs beat the Mets 4-2. San Diego and Atlanta scoreless through 4, Roberts and Reed. The Giants leading Pittsburgh 4-1 in the 4th. Perry against Blass, who was hurt. In fact, the Giants have been a little lucky. In Atlanta last night, they got Steve Barber. And then tonight, Blass is hurt and they get Veal. So if you are a Giant, you figure that the signs are good for you now. Montreal at Houston just getting underway. Philadelphia, St. Louis in the report. Washington 3, Milwaukee 1 at the end of 3. New York 1, Minnesota nothing at the end of 2. Boston 1, Chicago nothing at the end of 3. Let's go to the 7th. 1-1 in Cincinnati. And for more play, here's Jerry.
All right, Vinny, and Richie Allen, the batter, has singled and struck out in 2 trips. Then Parker and Valentine trying to get to Gullet. The windup and the pitch by Don, a swing at a ball that knocks his glove off. Gullet goes after it, throws to first base in time. A great, courageous play by Gullet. Boy, he was lucky to still be out there. That ball came back so fast it knocked his glove off. The glove went flying in front of the mound. The ball raced over toward third base. He came off the mound without his glove, picked up the ball, and threw Allen out. And boy, he is lucky he did not get hurt. Last night we saw Claude Osteen almost get nailed on a line drive by Kleins, and tonight, boy, Allen really undressed Gullet, but he stayed right with it, and we'll see what kind of an effect that has on Gullet. He takes a deep side now. Boy, he could really have been hurt on that one. That one came right back at him. Here's the pitch to Parker, a curveball that's low, ball one. So Allen is out 1-3, but boy, it's a lot different than that. He really smashed that ball back at Gullet. Gullet now shaking his right hand. His glove had dirt in it as it was laying on the dirt mound after it came flying off of there when that baseball hit it. Here's the pitch on the way to Parker, a swing and a foul straight back. Boy, that has to shake you up. We were talking with Claude Osteen on the pregame show tonight about it, and he said it took him almost an inning and a half to get over it. We'll see how it affects Gullet, but boy, there was one right back at your face. He put the glove up and protected himself. There's a swing and a pop-up into shallow center field. Helms goes out, turns now, and makes the catch for the out. So Parker pops up, 2 down, and the batter will be Bobby Valentine. So Gullet gets the out immediately following that near miss, and Valentine, the batter, has grounded out twice, once into a double play. Bobby hitting .243. The Dodgers run in the 6th inning. Russell singled, was moved over by Sutton, and Mota singled him home. Home run by Bench got the Reds a run in the 4th inning. Here's Gullet to the windup, the pitch to Valentine. A swing and a fly ball to center field. Right in his tracks as Foster makes the catch, and that's an easy inning, although it almost turned out to be a disastrous inning for Mr. Gullet. 3 up and 3 down, and the score at the end of 6.5 innings of play. Dodgers won, and the Reds have won.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. Get one chance at life, and so you reach for all the gusto you can, right down to the beer you drink. And that means Schlitz. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Now let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Hi, this is Lohman and Barkley. We'll be back to the game in just a minute, but second, we'd like to remind you of the Lohman and Barkley radio program on KFI Los Angeles every morning from 6 to 10 a.m.
Third baseman Tony Perez.
We go to play in the last half of the 7th inning. This ball game really rolling along. We played about an hour and 25 minutes. The crowd standing for the 7th inning stretch. And here's Perez at bat. He has singled and popped up. Tony with 16 homers and 52 runs batted in. Don Sutton to the windup, and here's his pitch. Fastball is a strike. Don struck out Carbo and May to close out the 6th inning. The Dodgers opened up the 7th inning with a vicious line drive back to the mound by Allen, and boy, Gullet really battled to stay with that one and get Ritchie, and he stayed in to get the next 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Perez. Curve is a little low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sutton has struck out 6. Gullet has struck out 3. So quite a duel here tonight, all even at 1-1. Now the windup again in the 1-1 pitch. Low with a fastball, 2-1. Johnny Bench is on deck. Perez hitting .256, slowly now bringing his batting average up. He was hurt at the start of the year. Took him a long time to get his hand well. Now he feels better. Here's the 2-1 pitch. A swing and a miss, strike 2. And Don took just a little off on the fastball that time. 2-2 is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here's the windup again and the pitch on the way. Fastball popped up foul, out of play on the first base side. And the count still a 2-2 count. That baseball bouncing around in the crowd down to our right. We have a nice crowd out tonight. 2-2. Sutton turns to check the count on the scoreboard, which is high up in the air here, right under the roof in direct center field. There's a foul back out of play. That one went right through the scoreboard behind home plate, the auxiliary scoreboard. We have one ball sticking in there, and that one went right through. They're going to have to really put some wire over that. They're going to ruin a good scoreboard here in a little while. Foul ball's coming right back up there. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Little high, ball 3, so a full count now to Perez opening up the 7th inning. Johnny Bench on deck. Perez, Bench, and then Foster here in the 7th, and Sutton now out to a full count. Don checks into the windup and here's his pitch. He walked him. It was high. Fastball too high. Perez draws a walk. So there's the first walk given up, and here's Johnny Bench coming up. He has popped up and hit a home run. Ferguson now out to talk to pitcher Don Sutton. Sutton has pitched well. Gullet has pitched well. It's a 1-1 ball game. Each side with 4 hits. Sutton in his last several outings has pitched well enough to win, but he has not gotten a decision in one game, and then he lost the last time out. So Don could easily have had his record to about 12 wins. He's pitched very well. But now he gives up a walk. He finds himself in another tough ball game. In Atlanta, he wound up losing by a 3-1 score. He lost to the Giants 3-1 in a start at home. Here's the look in the pitch. When he left the game in that game, though, he was behind 1-0. Pitches outside the bench, 1 ball and no strikes. Brewer now will go down to the bullpen and begin to throw. All right, Johnny Bench waiting. Perez on at first base. Now Sutton ready, delivers, and Bench takes a breaking ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Nice to have with us in the booth the ex-president of the National League, Warren Giles, longtime president, dropping by to visit. Mr. Giles still lives in Cincinnati. Crowd beginning to make noise now as Bench is up. The Dodgers have the infield double played up with Perez on after a walk, and Sutton has gone behind 2-0. Here's the look in the pitch to Bench. Curve, strike, and it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. On deck, George Foster, and then Tommy Helms. The Reds scored on the home run by Bench in the 4th. The Dodgers evened it up on the singles in the 6th inning. So we're there now here in the 7th. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch on the way to Bench. Strike 2, hit the outside corner fastball. And it's a 2-2 count. Bench's average is down. He's at 244. He has 19 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Last year, of course, John hit well over 300. He's been hurt some this year. Still has a bad wrist. 2-2 count. Perez away from first base, short lead. Parker holds him on. Allen wills Russell Parker the infield. Now again, Sutton ready. The look and the pitch on the way. Popped up foul. That'll carry out of play behind the Reds dugout on the first base side. So the count stays 2-2 to Johnny Bench. This is the first of the 3-game series in Cincinnati. The Dodgers will be home Friday. They will play Atlanta Friday night. Saturday night will be the Hollywood Stars game, and then Sunday, the final game of the series with Atlanta. 1 on here in the 7th. Throw to first, and Perez gets back. Two and two. Bench waits. Here's the pitch on the way. Line drive. Base hit to left field. Mowed over to bring it back in, and so the Reds now have 2 on with nobody out, and George Foster coming up. Bench pulled that ball and got it just by Allen into left field. That's his 2nd hit and the 5th hit allowed by Don Sutton. And here's Foster at bat. He has singled and struck out. Sutton a little upset now as Walter Alston comes out to the mound. He's perhaps going to talk a little strategy. Sutton has pitched well, but in this inning he walked Perez to open the inning, and then Bench got a single to left field. And Alston now will talk with Sutton, also with Ferguson. Foster the batter, and Helms due next. Alston, Sutton, and Ferguson talking it over. Trying to come up with the right thing for Don Sutton. And you know, if you reach the wrong number when you're dialing a long-distance call, just call the operator and explain what happened. She'll see you're not charged for the call. All right, Alston going back. Meeting is over. We'll see if the Reds play for the bunt now. Parker comes up. The bunt is on. Back toward the mound. Sutton up with it. Can't go to third. They play to first too late. Allen was not covering. And so Sutton had no play. Then when he finally went to first base, he was too late. Allen breaking in on the ball, and Sutton fielded it easily, and then he had no play at third as Allen was off the bag, and so Sutton then threw to first base. Too late there. So they bunted, and Sutton had the perfect play. But Allen had come off the bag to field it also, and so there was no play at third. And we'll see how they score it as Foster beats it out. He gets a base hit. Base hit on the bunt, and the Reds have them loaded up here in the seventh inning. So a little mix-up there right after the meeting. The Dodgers called the meeting and then got set for the bunt. And that time, Sutton broke for the ball, had the play, but Allen had come off also, and there was no one covering. So by the time Sutton turned to go to first base, he was too late. Here's Tommy Helms at bat. Flied out, hit into a double play. The infield is up. The pitch to Helms, a curve low, ball one. So the Dodgers are in a mess of trouble here in the seventh inning. A walk and a single, and they messed up a bunt play that gave the Reds another single. Actually, they perhaps were mixed up on the call of the play, as Sutton broke over, and Allen also broke for the ball, leaving third base open. No one covering there. Here's the pitch on the way. Helms swings and misses, 1-1. So Sutton has a lot of work to do to get out of this one here in the seventh inning. Woody Woodward on deck. He walked Perez, then Bench had a clean single to left, and now the bunt single by Foster. 1-1 count. All right, Sutton ready to go. Here's the pitch on the way. Helms taps it foul at third base. Fielded by Alex Grammas at strike two. 1-2. Sutton has struck out 6. He has walked 1. One ball and 2 strikes with nobody out. 3 men on for the Reds here in the seventh inning. Don Sutton ahead of the count to Tommy Helms. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Into the windup, and down it comes. Foul, out of play, upstairs. So the count stays 1-2 to Tommy Helms. The infield is up. They'll make a play at the plate if they can. One and 2. All right, Sutton taking his time, pitching to Helms here. Bottom of the 7th. Don ready. Sign from Ferguson. The windup and the pitch on the way. Inside with the fastball, 2-2. Mike Strawler now down to join Jim Brewer in the Dodger bullpen. 2-2 the count. Sutton rubs off a sign, gets a new one now. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Foul on a curveball. Count stays 2-2. So Sutton battling Tommy Helms, who's hitting .269, and he has 31 runs batted in. The big play now in the game has been the bunt by Foster, fielded by Sutton with Allen breaking wide of third and not able to get back, so they had no play at third. And then when Sutton turned to go to first base, he threw too late over there. But he thought he was going to make a play at third base until he saw that Allen could not get back to the bag. All right, 2-2 count. Here's the pitch on the way. Tap toward third. It'll be a foul ball. Helms lost his bat. It goes rolling across toward the Dodger dugout, and the count still 2-2. So Helms battling up there, and Sutton also battling Tommy. Runners ready to move. Perez at third, bench at second, Foster on first base. The game is in the 7th inning. The Giants are winning, and the Dodgers trying to hold on. They trail the Giants by 7.
Yeah.
2-2. Action in the bullpen for the Reds now. Right-hander throwing there. Clay Carroll is down there. 2-2 count to Helms. Sutton rubs off twice. Now ready. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. Fly ball to left field and deep. Motor going back, and it's going to be over his head against the wall. 1 run in, 2 runs in. Foster turns third. The relay from Wills to the plate. It'll be not in time. 3 runs in. Tommy Helms hit a 2-2 pitch over the head of Manny Mota to the base of the wall at the 375 mark, and 3-run score. Nobody out. Helms on second, and the batter is Woody Woodward. Woody Woodward at bat. The ball was hit straight over Mota, who had turned to his right and could not get back around, but he still had to go too far back. Here's a bunt popped up behind the plate. Ferguson can't get it. So Woody Woodward bunting fouls it off, and it is strike 1. So Tommy Helms gets a key double for the Reds with the bases loaded. A line drive over the head of Mota in left field. It carried to the warning track and hit the fence on 1 bounce. But Mota had turned to the right and couldn't get squared away on it. It would have been a tough play to catch the ball anyway. But Mota had to go back quickly and couldn't do it. It was the line drive over his head. So the Reds have cashed in the breaks here. The walk and the bunt have been 2 big items in the inning. Strike 1 count to Woodward. Helms off second. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball is outside. 1-1. So Sutton, who is sailing along in fine style, gives up 3 runs here. Nobody out, and a runner at second. Tommy Helms with the big blow, a double to drive in 3. Four to 1. The Reds are in front here in the 7th inning. All right, Sutton checking. The look back at Helms and the pitch. Woodward hits a high fly foul down the right field line. It'll be out of play. Don gets a new ball, bounces it on the AstroTurf as he walks slowly to the top. He's pitched well, but 2 mistakes here. The walk to Perez, and then the bunt play on Foster's ball. Put the Reds in business, and they have promptly cashed it in. All right, 1-2 count. Woodward waiting. Sutton delivers. Curve is popped up foul out of play. And the count is still 1-2. Sutton had 6 strikeouts, some with the curveball, but in this inning, his curveball has not been in the spots that he's wanted it. It seems to have been up a little bit, and he hasn't been able to nick that outside corner with it. 1-2. Helms leads away from second. Reds with 3 in here in the 7th. Here's the look now. Sutton ready, delivers. Swinging a foul down the right field line, so Woodward is late on everything now and fouling them off to the right. Strahler and Brewer in the Dodger bullpen down in left field. Clay Carroll has stopped throwing now. They might have hit for Gullet had they come to Gullet with the bases loaded and 2 outs. But now, with the base hit by Helms, that changes the ball game for Sparky, and Gullet is kneeling on deck. 1-2 count. Woodward still waiting. Here's the pitch on the way. Curveball is a little high. 2-2. So Don is not able to get the curve where he did earlier in the game. He had good command of it, and now it has gone away from him for a while. Four runs and 7 hits for the Reds. 1 run and 4 hits for the Dodgers. 2-2 count. Now the pitch. Line drive into center field, and it's going to be in for a base hit. That'll score Helms as Woodward tries for 2. The throw to second. He's in there. So Woody Woodward lines one into left center. And before Willie Davis can bring it back in, Woodward has a head-first slide into second for a double. The Reds have another run and lead 5-1. And that'll be all for Sutton as manager Walter Alston comes to the mound for the second time in the inning. But it was the little things in this inning that really got Don in a lot of trouble. He walked Perez 3-2, and he had not walked a batter in the game. That got him off to a bad start. Bench then singled to left. Foster beat out a bunt when Sutton fielded the bunt. Allen came over also for it. So with third base open, they had no play there, and then the play to first base was too late. So the bases were loaded, and then Helms on a 2-2 pitch drove one over Moto's head for a double to clear the bases. And now Woodward has a double into left center field to get in another one. That'll bring in Brewer. So Sutton will leave, and Don was really sailing along pitching a fine ball game until the roof caved in on him there in the 7th inning. So he worked 6 innings in the game, has allowed 5 runs, 8 hits, struck out 6, walked 1, and was pitching with good stuff until it apparently left him, at least that and his luck left him in the bottom of the 7th inning. And now Brewer will come on and do the pitching. So we'll have Brewer, the new pitcher, coming in. And Jim's record on the year is 4-3. He will be making his 32nd appearance, and he has saved 11. So Brewer will come on, but now the Reds have built up a 5-1 lead for young Mr. Don Gullit, who has been very rough anyway. He has allowed just 1 run to the Dodgers, that on 2 singles in the 6th inning. So Gullit will be the hitter with Woodward standing in second when we go back to play in a moment. Well, the Dodgers home this weekend for a highly attractive homestand with the same clubs that have been playing here on the road. The Braves, Pirates, and Reds in that order. This weekend it'll be Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon with the Braves. And, of course, one of the big highlights of the year, Saturday night, the Hollywood Stars night. Introduction of the Stars at 6:15. The ball game between the Stars and the Sportscasters, 6:30 to 7:15. And then at 7:30, instead of the usual 7 o'clock, the Dodgers and the Braves. Still plenty of tickets left, and they'll be on sale Friday and Saturday at the Dodger ticket office on Stadium Way, and all 3 days, of course, right at the ballpark. Don't miss Hollywood Stars Night, Saturday. Dean Martin, Dick Martin, Glenn Campbell, Joe Campanella, Ernie Borgnine, David Hartman, many other stars. See them all at Dodger Stadium Saturday night. All right, here's Gullit at bat now with still nobody out. The Reds have 4 runs in, and Woodward standing at second base. Woody has 1 hit. The key hit was the double by Tommy Helms. That drove in 3. Gullit bunting up the first baseline, and Parker now lets it roll foul. They went through with the play, but Parker picked it up foul and threw back to Russell. So Gullit will come back and try it again, trying to advance Woodward over to third base. In the inning, a walk to Perez, a single by Bench, and then the bunt. That was the big play. And then the double by Helms, and a double by Woodward. Woodward legged his to a double as the ball took a high hop, and Willie Davis had to move over into left center field to go after it. All right, Gullit at bat. Parker moves in again looking for the bunt. Here's Brewer out of a stretch, and Jim's pitch is missed for a strike. He was around the bunt, let it go by 0-2. The ball game was tied 1-1 until the bottom of the 7th. Strahler continues to throw in the bullpen. Brewer's spot is due third in the 8th inning when the Dodgers come up. Nothing in 2. Pete Rose on deck. At second base, Woody Woodward. Brewer checking again. Now the look, and here's the pitch. Gullet around a bunt, does. Back to the mound. Brewer up with it. He'll go to first base in time, and on the play, Woodward takes third. So Gullet gets the sacrifice down, and Russell handles the throw. Rose now will be the batter with a man at third base and 1 out. Rose has flied out, hit into a force play, and bounced out to the pitcher. So Rose at bat, 1 away, man at third base, and 4 runs in here in the 7th inning. Okay, infield up again for the Dodgers with Pete Rose now switching around to bat from the right side. Takes a curve up high, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count for Pete Rose. Bernie Carbo is on deck. Cincinnati trying to win the 3rd game of the year from the Dodgers. The Dodgers lead in the series 5-2 so far. There's a swing and a foul off first base down the line, out of play. And it is 1-1 to Rose. There's not too much area in foul territory in this park. Almost like Pittsburgh. The foul lines, the stands come out to the foul lines in a hurry just beyond the dugouts. Not like Dodger Stadium where there's much spacious area on the foul ground side. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Popped into short center field. Mota coming up fast. Davis coming up, and this one dropped for a base hit. The runner's in, and Rose is into second with a double. Pop fly to shallow center. It fell in with the infield in. Wills had no chance to get back on it. So Rose gets a gift double on a pop fly to shallow center. That brings in another run, and that closes out the record for Don Sutton. So Don gives up 6 runs, and you'd have to see it to believe it. Just like this game in Atlanta, all the hits against him, you'd have to see those to believe it. You'd have to say that Don Sutton's been a little bit snake bit here lately. So Rose is on second with a double, and here now is a pinch hitter. Here's Buddy Bradford now as a pinch hitter for Carbo. Bradford is an outfielder, and he will come on as a hitter. He is a right-hand hitter and swings at the first pitch, misses, strike 1. So Bradford, a right-hand hitter. Runner going to third. Here's Ferguson's throw there, and he steals it. Rose got a big jump on Brewer and steals third. A 1-1 count to Bradford. Rose at third base, still only 1 out, and now the Dodgers must bring the infield up again. That cost them a run a moment ago because Rose's pop fly fell in just behind the infield. Wills would have handled it easily with the infield back. Here's a swing and a miss at a screwball. Strike 2, 1-2. So the Reds having everything go right here in the 7th inning, and they parlayed it into a 5-run uprising. 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the pitch. He struck him out. Screwball, and down goes Bradford. So that's the 2nd out of the inning. The first out recorded by Brewer, and the batter now will be Lee May, the 9th batter of the inning. Bradford will probably stay in and play in the outfield. He came over to the Reds from the American League. Lee May waiting, swings and fouls it away off first, out of play, strike 1. The Reds leading 6-1 with a 5-run 7th inning. A walk, a single, then a bunt, a double with the bases loaded, a double, a sacrifice, a pop fly double, and a steal of third. There's a foul, out of play, strike 2. 0-2 the count. Nothing in 2. Don Gullit benefiting for all these runs. Now the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Curveball. He struck him out to retire the side. But not before the Reds come up with 5 runs in the inning on 5 hits, and they leave 1, and the score at the end of 7. The Reds 6 and the Dodgers 1.
Talking with Farmer John recently, he made an interesting point. He mentioned that when something is enjoyable, like baseball, it's enjoyable any time, day or night. And then he added, just about everyone enjoys bacon for breakfast, so why don't more people serve it for dinner now and then? Well, his idea makes sense. No other meat is so rich in flavor, and of course no other bacon can match the flavor of Farmer John's. The secret is in the old-time Western way. He smokes his bacon over native Western wood to give it a hearty, husky Western flavor all its own. Well, that's why so little stretches such a long way to make it economical meat to serve. And Farmer John bacon is extra lean, too, providing plenty of protein, as well as an abundance of food energy. So why not go along with Farmer John and try his bacon for dinner one of these evenings? Farmer John bacon, gold medal winner at the California State Fair. It's the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor. And remember, enjoyable anytime.
Warming up now, Don Gullit. The total 6 runs, 9 hits, and no errors for the Reds, with 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. Here's Danny Goodman's Dodger souvenir bargain, available for $2. A Dodger yearbook, a Dodger scarf, 20 pictures of Dodger players, the Baseball Digest, and pennants of all 12 National League teams. Send $2, your name and address, to Danny Goodman at Dodger Stadium. Okay, let's go to the 8th inning. More play. Here's Vinny.
All right, Jerry. 6 runs, 9 hits for the Reds, and the way Gullit is pitching, that would appear to be plenty. A run on 4 hits for the Dodgers, with Joe Ferguson to start it off, followed by Bill Russell, and then a hitter for Jim Brewer. Gullit delivers. Fastball popped in the air, foul off to the right of the plate. Bench comes to the dugout and can't get it. On 1 to count to Johnny Bench. Ferguson has fouled out and grounded out. Bench going into the dugout now, goes back behind the plate.
20024.
Checking the attendance, 20024. 20,024. Fergie has a look and the pitch away, 1-1. Jimmy Merritt throwing in a little bit, getting in some work down in the Reds bullpen. He doesn't figure to show in the series, however. Fastball is low, ball 2, 2-1. Of course, it's pretty hard, the way the Dodgers have been playing against left-handers. It's hard for a manager not to use a left-hander in a series. You'd want to rush them out to the mound. The 2-1 pitch, Ferguson hits it off the end of the bat down to Lee May. He brings it to the bag, 1 away. We were saying before on this road trip in Atlanta, and we were deadly serious, that most managers in the league, if they have a left-hander who can dress himself, they'll send him to the mound against the Dodgers. But in this series, you have Gullet followed by right-handers Gary Nolan and Jim McLaughlin. Bill Russell flied to right and singled. 1 for 2, hits one back at Gullet. It's off his glove, dying in front of Woodward, and Russell's aboard. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
It's Dodger Baseball on KFI Los Angeles. It's also the Jerry Bishop Show from 10 to 1 each and every day, Monday through Saturday on KFI.
Darwin, batting for Brewer.
Well, Bill Russell singles off Don Gullet's glove. He's 2 for 3 as he stands at first. That means 5 hits in his last 2 games for us. And the batter now is Bob Darwin, hitting for Jim Brewer. Gullet, a look at first, comes to the plate low, ball 1. Darwin, who had been in the lineup in right field, gives way to Bobby Valentine tonight. Darwin batting .278. Gullet ready and delivers, and the fastball is low and away. Bill Russell standing at first with 1 out in the 8th inning, 6-1 in favor of the Reds. Now left-hander Gullet's next one in there at the knees for a strike. Bobby Darwin with Maury Wills to follow. The Dodgers have had only one threat, by threat meaning more than one hit in an inning, and that's when they scored in the sixth. Otherwise, Gullet has made it look easy. Don delivers it, swung on and missed, strike two. Outside of the sixth inning, when Russell singled and was sacrificed and scored, the Dodgers have not had a run to get to second base. So Sutton would have had to pitch a shutout. He had given up a run in the fourth inning, and then the Dodgers really punched holes in his boat and sank him in the seventh. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball fouled away right up here and off to the left and out of play. 2-2. There are a lot of guys up here who could afford going after that foul ball. The one fella we don't want to try would be Steve Garvey. The rest of us can keep our amateur standing. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball got him swinging. So Gullit too much for Darwin. 2 down. And Maury Wills the batter.
Number 3, the shortstop, Maury Wills.
Maury Wills has struck out, fly to left, hit back to the box. He's 0 for 3. Maury struggling at the 219 mark right-handed and is 0 for 3 tonight. So he's been a different hitter from this side of the plate. He lines it at the left fielder Bradford, who makes the catch for the out. The ball just started to take off on him, but Buddy stayed with it. No runs, 1 hit, a man left at the end of 7.5. Reds 6, Dodgers 1.
It takes a lot of people, helping people talk to people. It takes a lot of people, working night and day.
Nearly a fourth of the telephone people are telephone operators, and if you ask them what they like most about their work, chances are they'll tell you it's satisfaction. Not just from placing a call for someone, but for those times when they know that they've genuinely helped someone who needed help. Just listen for the smile the next time you hear, "Operator, may I help you?"
People, helping people, helping other people. That's what it's all about.
Bottom of the 8th inning with the Reds leading the Dodgers 6-1. Before 20,024, Mike Strawler comes out of the Dodger bullpen now to pick up for Jim Brewer. Sutton went 6, was undermined and was charged with 6 runs, but it was a hard-to-believe ball game for him. The Dodgers had a bad play by Richie Allen, then Manny Mota had trouble on a fly ball. And, of course, 2 bad breaks against the pitcher with the Reds hitters, and you're done. Now Mike Strawler mopping up in the 8th inning. Tony Perez, Johnny Bench, and George Foster. Mike Strawler, ready to go to work. Perez, right-hand batter at the plate, is 1 for 2 with a walk, swings and doesn't get the first one, 0-1. Strawler is in his second game. He worked 2 innings and allowed 1 earned run prior to tonight. Mike just called up recently from Spokane. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dodgers had won 3 out of 4 here at Cincinnati. So the Reds trying to give them back a couple. Fastball is low. Ball 2, 2-1. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Cincinnati. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. Mike checking with Joe Ferguson. Back he comes, low, ball 3. Three and 1. The count to Tony Perez. Johnny Bench waiting his turn. Mike into the windup and his 3-1 pitch. Fastball over for a strike. 3-2. The Reds have a lot of people playing catch. We'll see if they get in the game or not. Wayne Granger's throwing. Jimmy Merritt is throwing. Davy Concepcion and Ty Klein. They have 6 men down there in the bullpen. It's standing room only. 3-2 pitch to Perez. Very high. Ball 4.
Number 5, the catcher, Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench, the batter. Johnny Bench popped up, homered, and singled. John is 2 for 3. He hit the changeup for the home run. Then put Sutton in a jam with a base hit to left field in the 7th following the walk to Perez. Strawler looks to Ferguson. Parker holding the bag on Perez. And Davy Concepcion is now running at first base. The pitch gets away from Fergie, and Concepcion into second base easily.
Wild pitch.
Wild pitch charged to Strawler, so Concepcion, running for Perez, advances to second base. Nobody out in the 8th. The Reds scored a run in the 4th inning. Bench homered. The Dodgers got it back in the 6th, and then the Reds got 5 in the 7th inning. Johnny Bench waiting. 2 for 3 tonight. Strawler delivers. Breaking ball in the dirt. Dug out by Ferguson. 2-0 the count. Joe Ferguson behind the plate. Davy Concepcion running at second base. 6-1 Cincinnati. The next one is low. Ball 3. Strawler pitched against the Braves on the 17th. Allowed a run and 3 hits. Mike's 3-0 pitch, a strike, 3-1. John looked like he was almost allowed to swing and then didn't like the pitch at the last second. 3-1. Concepcion backing away from second base. A good lead. He's not worrying about Wills. He has his eye on Russell. Strawler, a look back at Davy. Now the 3-1 pitch to Bench. Ground ball to the hole. Left side. Base hit. Concepcion will score without a play. 7-1 Cincinnati. So a walk, wild pitch, and a base hit, and a run is over. And the batter now will be George Foster. Foster singled, struck out, and then had the most important play in the 7th inning. He bunted, and it was a perfect bunt for Sutton to get a force at third. Don whirled to throw, and Richie Allen was not anywhere near the bag. Then Sutton tried to throw to first too late, and by the time he calmed down, it was a 5-run inning. The fastball is low, ball 1. 1-0. 7 runs, 10 hits for the Reds. 1 run, 5 hits for the Dodgers in the 8th inning. Mike Strawler at the belt, looks over at Bench. Breaking ball is low to Foster. So Johnny Bench having a good night. 2 singles and a home run. He has scored twice. He has driven in 2. Tommy Helms, of course, had the big hit. He doubled over Mota's head to drive in 3 in the 7th inning. The next one is swung on and missed. 2-1 the count to George Foster. When the Dodgers come up in the 9th, they have Mota, Davis, and Allen. The next pitch is hit down the left field line, hooking as it goes foul and in the corner. Foul by just a couple of feet, so Foster will come back and try it again. .330 down the lines here. Two and 2 the count. Now the 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3. So Strawler having trouble throwing strikes. A walk and a wild pitch. Then Johnny Bench singled home a run. Now he's gone all the way to Foster. With nobody out, Helms on deck, and we'll see whether Bench is going or not. Strawler has a look over there. Johnny is not, and the pitch is whacked foul off third and hooking back in the lower deck. Still 3-2. Tomorrow night, Gary Nolan and Doyle Alexander. The concluding game of the series, Al Downing and Jim McLaughlin. Strawler's fastball is fouled back. Oh, working on a 3-2 count. 7-1 Cincinnati. The great 1-1 ball game through 6. With the Reds scored 5 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. And they've broken it wide open. Mike at the belt, a backward glance at Bench. Foster hits one off the hands wide to third to Allen. In front of Wills, goes to Russell for a force, and that's all. So 1 away, and Tommy Helms coming up.
Second baseman Tommy Helms.
Helms hit into a double play, flied to left, and then in the 7th inning, hit one over Mota's head to clear the bases in the 7th. Throw to first just to keep Foster at the bag. 1 out, 8th inning, 7-1 Cincinnati. Mike Strawler delivers. Fastball, a broken bat, and a looper grabbed on a hop by Russell. Throws to Wills for a force. So Helms cracked his bat and hits a one hopper to Russell, and Bill makes a good play to get a force on Foster.
Number 6, the shortstop, Woody Woodward.
That'll bring up Woody Woodward, who struck out, flied to right, and doubled in the 7th inning, so he's 1 for 3. Don Sutton, 6 innings plus, and of course his numbers make it look like a bad performance. 6 innings, 6 runs, 8 hits. But you had to see it to believe it. The breaking ball is low, ball 1, 1-0. Strawler, a backward glance at first base at Helms. Fastball over for a strike, and the count 1-1. Mota, Davis, and Allen to face Gullet in the 9th inning. Gullet has the Dodgers right by their Gullet. A run, 5 hits, and he has not been in any trouble all night. The next one is swung on and missed, strike 2. Woodward waiting. Strawler a look over at first. Mike comes to the plate. Fastball hit foul off first. Well back into the seats. 1-2. First game of the 3-game series. Tomorrow night and Thursday night, and the Dodgers will open up at home Friday night with the Atlanta Braves. Be a great homestand. The Braves over the weekend, then the Pirates, and then the Reds. Fastball is low. Saturday night, the 24th, the Sportscasters against the Hollywood Stars, with Don Newcomb pitching against Don Drysdale, and all kinds of fun in store. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball, foul back, out of play. Goes to the upper deck and then drops down below. And it remains 2-2. Mike Strawler set at the belt. The 2-2 pitch, half swing foul into the crowd off to the right of the plate. Oh, Woody is still there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stoller's 2-2 pitch. Ground ball down to Wills. Morey short hops and feeds Russell for a force on Helms, and that's that. A run on a hit, a man left, and at the end of 8, Reds 7, Dodgers 1.
76 trombones, a march with a lot of spirit. The theme for a company and thousands of dealers with a lot of spirit. Union 76. It took spirit to bring you Union Low Lead Regular 76, the anti-pollution gasoline that performs better overall in more cars than high lead regular. Fill up with Union Low Lead Regular 76, the better all-round gasoline that's in the spirit of cleaner air. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
The ninth inning with the Reds leading the Dodgers 7-1. 7 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for the Reds. 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. Don Gullet on his way to a 10th win. Gullet was 9-3 with an ERA of 2.7. The only run the Dodgers scored came in the 6th inning. So Gullet, who has 2 shutouts plus being involved in 2 more, has pitched another strong ball game, and what a pitcher he is. It's hard to believe he's only 20. And you have your fingers crossed when you see such a talented kid that he just continues to develop, and then you've got yourself another great star in the league. Boy, he was fortunate, though. Richie Allen might very well have brought his career to a standstill in the 7th inning. Mota takes a strike, 0-1. Allen in the 7th inning hit a line drive. Gullit threw his hands up in front of his face, and it took the glove right off his hand. The ball in glove landed on the mound, and then the ball rolled out of the glove. Mota fouls one away off to the right out of play. 0-2 the count to Manny. We're in the 9th, 7-1 Cincinnati. Don Gullit checking signs. Now to the windup delivers. Mota fouls it back. Manny drove in the only Dodger run. He singled in the 6th inning to cash in Bill Russell, who had singled and was sacrificed by Sutton. Gullit ready, and the strike 2 pitch. Change, and he spun it just outside. Ball 1. 1-2. 20,024 tonight. Hope you'll be with us when we get home on Friday night, the 23rd, with the Braves. 1-2 fastball, fouled away. Mota didn't get around on it, fouled it back into the lower deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johnny Bench in a crouch behind the plate. Gullit reads the signs. Now the 1-2 pitch to Mota. Fastball high and tight. Ball 2. Manny holding up and falling away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gullit's 2-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Backhanded attempt by Helms, but in vain. It goes into center field for a base hit. So Mota singles, and the batter will be Willie Davis.
Number 3, the center fielder, Willie Davis.
Half a dozen hits for the Dodgers. Davis has 1 of them. He has struck out, singled, and fouled out. Gullit ready to work on Willie Davis. Don looks over. Davey Concepcion will holler something to him. Concepcion finishing up for Tony Perez at third. Pitch to Willie Davis, up around the eyes. Ball 1, 1-0. 7-1 Reds in the 9th. Lee May not holding the bag on Mota. Gullit ready, delivers to Willie and almost hit him. It was just on the point of the right elbow. 2-0 the count. The Pirates have come from behind, would you believe? And they are now leading the Giants 8-6 in the 5th inning. Pitch inside. Last night, the Giants were leading 8-2, and Atlanta caught them 8-8, and the Giants went on to win it. Tonight, the Pirates have caught them and passed them 8-6 Pittsburgh. Boy, the top two clubs in the National League West staggering all over the lot, which makes for more excitement. Davis takes high, so Gullet now gives up a base hit on the walk, and with nobody out, Richie Allen coming up.
Richie Allen.
That is the first walk given up by Gullet. As we told you, at 20 years old, Don does not finish many games, and Sparky Anderson going out to talk to him right now. Gullet, going into this game tonight, had started 18 games and completed 2, and in those 2 complete, they were shutouts. Remember when Larry Dierker first started with the Houston Astros at a tender 18, and no matter what he was doing, no matter the score, he would only be allowed to make 100 pitches. Well, Gullet's coming out, and Clay Carroll will be asked to finish up for him. And the 20-year-old youngster gets a well-deserved round of applause as he comes off the field.
Cincinnati, number 36.
So he'll be pitching to Richie Allen. And Clay Carroll asked to finish up. Clay Carroll is in his 39th game. He has an excellent earned run average of 2.2. Georgie Anderson, who got the applause but never took a bow last year, now gets some boos as he goes off the field. And Carroll's first warm-up toss hits the backstop, which is a pretty good way of getting everybody's attention. You remember Ryan Duran, when he first came up with the New York Yankees in his heyday, usually the first pitch when he warmed up, he would throw it at the backstop or up the screen just to give the next hitter that uneasy feeling. Carroll is not that kind of a pitcher. He just happened to let one slip. Reds leading 7-1 in the 9th inning. The Dodgers on a base hit and a walk, have 2 on and nobody out. Well, the Giants have won 3 games on their road trip, and the Dodgers have won 2 games on their road trip. The Dodgers are down 7-1, and the Giants, who are out in front 5-1, are behind 8-6 in the 5th inning at Pittsburgh. Here's Richie Allen, single, struck out, and was out on a shot back at Gullet that almost took the youngster's head off in the 7th inning. Carroll's fastball is swung on and missed. 0-1. Clay Carroll, set at the bell to look at the runners, comes to the plate and gets another strike. 0-2. Wes Parker on deck. Clay from Clanton, Alabama. The strike 2 pitch, swung on and driven to right field for a base hit. Rose plays it on a hop. They'll stop Moda at third base. So the bases are loaded with nobody out as Allen singles to right. And the batter will be Wes Parker. Well, needless to say, everyone loves a winner. Year after year, Farmer John's fine pork products win more gold medals at the California State Fair than at any other packer. Here's Wes Parker with the bases loaded. Richie Allen at first, Willie Davis at second, Manny Mota at third, and Parker takes a strike. Clay Carroll picking up for Don Gullit. Now the strike 1 pitch, off speed, foul to the plate, and the count 0-2. Big Joe Gibbon, the pride of Hickory, Mississippi, down there in the Cincinnati bullpen now. Carroll ready in the strike 2 pitch is hit in the air to shallow left center field. Coming in is Foster, makes the catch, the runner's hold. One away. So Parker, a little fly ball to center, and the batter now will be Bobby Valentine, or will it? Nope, it'll be Bill Buckner. So Bill Buckner hitting for Valentine with the bases loaded, 1 out. Buckner hitting .292. He has 3 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Buck taking his time, getting ready before he comes up.
Los Angeles, number 22.
1 out, 9th inning, 7-1 Cincinnati.
Buckner.
The Reds scored in the 4th. The Dodgers tied it up in the 6th. The Dodgers saw the Reds capitalize on 2 breaks and score 5 times in the 7th inning, add another in the 8th. So they're breezing 7-1. The Dodgers load the bases, get rid of Gullet, but now have 1 out, and here's Bill Buckner against Clay Carroll, whose fastball is low, ball 1. One and 0 the count. Carroll checking with Johnny Bench. Mota, Davis, and Allen take the leads, and Buckner lifts one into shallow center. Out goes Woodward. In comes Foster. Easy play. The runner's hold again. So the Dodgers, who have been frustrated anyway, are really capping the evening tonight. They get the bases loaded and nobody out. Now they have the bases loaded and 2 out. Willie Crawford will be the batter in shades of Atlanta. You remember in Atlanta, the Dodgers were against George Stone. They had the base loaded, nobody out, and left them. And now they are face to face with that unhappy prospect again tonight. 2 out, bases loaded, 7-1 Cincinnati. Willie Crawford hitting for Joe Ferguson. Takes the strike. Crawford batting .301. Carroll back to the plate. Breaking ball. Hit slowly to Lee May, and the Dodgers, who loaded the bases, are not going to score. Well, you would say to the Dodgers, be careful driving home, but they can walk back to the hotel tonight, and they had better watch the lights on the way back. No runs, 2 hits, and they leave 3. And it's all over. The Reds beat the Dodgers 7-1. We'll have the totals, the winning and losing pitchers, right after this message.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. One chance at life, and you gotta live it with all the gusto you can, in everything, even the beer you drink. Schlitz. Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
The totals on the ball game for the Reds: 7 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. For the Dodgers, 1 run, 7 hits, and no errors. Don Gullit, the winner, he's now 10-3, and Don Sutton, the loser. And despite another good effort, Sutton is now 9-9, and he is 7-10 lifetime with the Reds. Tomorrow night, Doyle Alexander will be going against Gary Nolan. Once again, final score: Reds 7, Dodgers 1.